Alright then. It's been a little while since we've done a VOD review, but we've got, I think, 3 lined up for me today, which I'm going to try in a different release schedule, hopefully, to make sure everyone has time to watch them. But here we go. This is on Oasis. This is a loss, and this was a pretty good loss, honestly. I think it was a good game that we lost, unfortunately. So yeah, we start out, the composition we're running this Tracer Reaper. Don't really know the logic behind necessarily the picks, but I don't dislike the Tracer pick. I think it is a good idea. I think that was just you asked if you could play Tracer, and I was fine with it at the time. But now that we know they have the Brigida and the Kree, probably gonna have to swap off the Tracer. It depends on how they play against you. I guess will kind of be the deciding factor in this. So we push up, and we have Lucius, we have the speed, so we're able to push up all the way up to this Orisa barrier. I need to know how the Zarya got up here and the Rhine got up here, but everyone else didn't.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Obviously the Rhine charges here and gets ahead there. It's kind of annoying. I can't see the AoE even the Lucios from here. So I can't actually see who's getting sped boost and who isn't. I think everyone else gets left behind is what happens. Probably the Tracer can be using blinks, the Moira can be using fade, the Lucio just makes... No, the Lucio does go back to make sure everyone's getting sped boost in. Amps up that speed. Helps everyone catch up to the Reinhardt. Now then, do we not push forward here? Okay. Alright then, so I don't really like this to begin with. This is just kind of poor play. The Reinhardt... And this is the right play by the Reinhardt. The Reinhardt should want to. They have this. What this doorway is right here, right? We didn't know they were going to run the Orisa, but what they do run the Orisa. If they had the Reinhardt, they probably would have met us here. The fact they're running the Orisa means they're slower. They're going to end up here. They're going to put their shield up right here, right at this doorway. If we had all rushed that, we can basically force them off the point before the point even opens up. So I don't really know what's going on here. And then this group of people is going to try and rotate this way. They're probably going to recognize that, and they're going to turn around and come. They're going to go like this and then come around. If I had to guess. Yeah. Which means now the Rhine and the Zarya are up doing what they're supposed to be, and everyone else is just now trying to catch up, whereas they're playing as a 6-man blob. They're playing all 6 men in one spot. The Reinhardt's getting some cleave damage in. He's going to get bashed. He's going to take quite a bit of damage, bubbled, and he's going to be forced to back up then. Shield blocks the meatball. Need to be calling that rock. It's not a meatball. And with that, the double shield composition they're running was able to get more space. Our Reaper just takes the duel with their Reaper, but the McCree is coming over to clean up. The stun gets on the McCree, on the Reaper, but he's able to get out. So yeah. Their Orisa is isolated from her team right now, and we should be on this. We should be on this Orisa right now. Our Reinhardt gets bashed by the Brigida, but he has a pretty decent amount of health. He should be fine.
This is my will.
Void dot box in 2 seconds. So we chase forward on this Reaper and we get the kill on him.
The objective is now active.
And their Brigida is still playing aggro, trying to have saved her Reaper. We lose. What did we lose there? I think that was just a bubble or something. They're kind of just throwing their shields down again, though. They obviously have a lot more shields than we do with the double shield composition. So yeah, and then we kind of... This will be something I'm going to rewatch this fight and kind of watch specifically from the Tracer for a bit. But yeah, so we're just kind of getting damage in. The Reaper was pressuring in, but he's forced to use his Ray form out. Zarya gets the Brigida. So they're down. They're down 2 in this fight. We should be speed boosting on top of them right now, because the only real source of damage they have is the McCree. Block the rock again with the Rhine shield. Their McCree's dead. They have nothing. We should push forward on that. Which we're still in healing boost. I think we need to go to speed boost at this point. The Moira can heal the tanks if the Moira pushes up. But we can force their tanks off the point. We should win that fight. And we do. We get the Sigma. We get the Moira. Reaper's up ahead here. We use our Fade aggressively, which is fine. I don't really mind that too much. The Reaper's here on our back line. He's forced to use his Wraith form. Chase him off, he gets healed. And just, okay, so just to describe the mentality of what's going on here, what I'm doing here, is even though I'm half health, I see the Farah's coming out. She has no real source of heals because she pushed aggressively in a time where she shouldn't have. And because of that, just chase after her, get close enough to start doing damage, and I'm able to burn her down before she can too much, and then we just back away. So we take our free kill on the Farah and then run away. So what's the Tracer doing? Tracer's just kind of doing poke damage on the side here. They swapped off the McCree, which I think is ultimately better for the Tracer. But I'm gonna do a POV on the Tracer as well in this. So I'm not gonna talk too much about the Tracer in this video. Block another rock. They push forward. The Reaper pushes forward. Does he have ultimate? No, he doesn't. He's just pushing aggressively on our Reinhardt. So they bongo. And I know this fight doesn't go well for us. So I just want to see what we did here and what we could have done better here. So what's about to happen with this bongo is we're about to grab. But I think we have Lucio. He still he just used his E ability. He's using his E ability on healing. Okay, I don't like that. I think we should have just given up the sight lines. We should have just gone back to point. The Rhine gets bumped in. And then we grab. Pop the Coalescence into it, but I think they obviously have the higher output damage because they have the bongo. We put a Pulse Bomb in. Pulse Bomb gets eaten. That's unfortunate. Reaper gets stunned. We should be disengaging really on this, I think. The fact that they have the Reinhardt, or they don't have... The fact that they have 6 and we have 4 at this point, they're still using ultimates to win this fight, so... You know, I guess it's kind of their fault. And Tracer just kind of stalls on point. Alright then, just gets us a couple of more percentage. Alright then. So, all in all, what we did for that is we used Pulse Bomb, which is... We'll have that back pretty quickly anyways. We used Grav, and we used... Coalescence. So we used 2 ultimates to lose a fight, but to be fair, to win that ultimate, they used 4. But I think if we were gonna do the Grav play and play aggressively into it, we should have used Beat. And if we weren't, we should have disengaged, walked back, and we should have just rotated all the way back to this side of the point. We should have come way back over here and hid behind this circle bit. And then pushed aggressively, tried to melt shield, or trying to sped boost us through shield. So what Sigma puts a shield up, Orisa puts a shield up, speed boost through both of them as quickly as can and shatter them wherever they are in the backline. Or even just getting a 1 or 2 man shatter is worth it in this composition because of the comp they're playing. I think our Zarya might die here in a second, which is unfortunate. Yeah, she gets burned down. That was good capitalization by them. We shouldn't be poking this. We should just be waiting it out. DPS are both going in on the Reaper. I like this play by the Tracer, and I like the Reaper following up on it as well. That's a really good pick by us. Oh, that's unfortunate. So we lose our Reaper Death Blossom to the Bash. That was pretty telegraphed. We can kind of do more to set it up, especially if we were to have bubbled or something like that. If you had called out that, we could have tried to bubble it, and that would have helped. So the Farah uses her barrage. They use their Sigma ultimate. They get the Reinhardt with that, and the Reaper was stuck in the backline, so he couldn't get out. We get their Farah though. The Tracer's forward. The call here was probably that it's winnable. If we beat here, we make this winnable, which we do. So we can push aggressively on this. We pop the Coalescence as well. I'm not sure that both of those were necessary, but I don't really mind it because it's Coalescence. You'll have it back pretty quickly. So yeah, we should be able to re-win this fight. They pop their Coalescence, which is unfortunate. We Pulse Bomb to try and clean up. That's fine. Pulse Bomb is pretty quick. If we were trying to combo with not High Noon, if we were trying to combo with Graviton, though, it would have been nice to hold on to the pulse bomb, but it doesn't really matter because we do have I mean we can just swing Reinhardt into it and get shatter out of it anyways, and we have coalescence, so we don't really care too much about the grav combos. And on top of that, we swapped off of the Reaper onto the McCree, which overall is better because it first of all counters the Pharah, but it's also the better matchup against the Reaper. So, how do we lose this next fight is my question. We have, only ultimate we have, technically speaking, is Grav, and they're going to have Rally, they're going to have maybe Bongo. They also swapped over from the Sigma to the Reinhardt, which, excuse me, is ultimately a faster composition. You have to play more aggressively when you're playing the Reinhardt with the Orisa. And Shatter is, unless you outplay the Reinhardt, the Shatter is a less impactful ultimate than the Sigma ult, because the Sigma ult is much easier to land. We also get the pin on their Reinhardt. Very beginning, they have no bubble to protect him, so he gets deleted. That's really well played. The Reaper pushes aggressively for whatever reason. We should be able to punish that. We lose our Zarya, but we get the Grav. The Grav is big, but no one's there to be able to keep up with the Grav, so ultimately I think the Grav was early, our Rein dies. Alright, we're trying to focus on this Pharah. And they're gonna win that fight then. Sakri should be able to get out though. Yeah, he does get out. Alright, so we decide to all rotate Bouncy Castle now. Because we're able to disable this. We're able to disable the Pharah from having this high ground. She has to play low with her team if we go up this high ground. So the Reaper TP's up. And the Tracer's there to put pressure on him already, try and force him down. The Moira throws the orb, he has to back out because of that. So now their positioning on point is pretty horrible. Like, I'm not going to be nice about this. This is garbage. This is their Brigida. This is their Moira, right? Yeah. This is their support line. Their Orisa's here. Where's the shield? Here's their Reinhardt. He's about to throw a Fire Strike up. And then their DPS are both just, you know, hiding behind the wall. Neither one of them are low. This is horrible. We should drop on their supports. Zarya pushes aggro onto the other high ground, which was to pressure the Fire if she pops back up. They pop the rally. And, okay, so we're not accomplishing anything right now. We're kind of just waiting. The McCree's not shooting. The Moira is just healing. The Lucio is just healing. We're kind of just waiting for our Tracer and our Zarya to do something, which means we're not really putting any value in. Ryan should be throwing, you know, Fire Strike if he has it. We should be throwing orbs in. We should be throwing McCree shots in. We get their Pharah low. We get their Pharah. They pop the Bongo. We do also need to be looking into contesting point soon. The correct play at this point is to drop. They're all playing together, and we're going to drop on, and Bongo is very killable. I think our Zarya is going to get Bongo in a second, but our Reinhardt goes down. He doesn't have Shatter yet. Our Lucio gets very low, but he is fine. We need to make sure that is called out, though, because he's going to die very shortly if he doesn't. Okay, so the Reaper pops Death Blossom, but their Reinhardt kicks him out of it with the pin that pushes everyone outside of it. We pop the High Noon from the high ground. High Noon high ground is going to get the Reaper low, but other than that, everyone else was able to avoid it. So Zarya drops down from her high ground on the Moira. We lose our Lucio. We still have Moira for heals. We're going to lose our Reinhardt because we're not going to be able to get the heals to him in time. Pulse Bomb unfortunately gets stuck on the Orisa shield. That's unfortunate. So all in all, we back up. We pop the Coalescence, but all we have is 2 people on point. They have 5 back on point now. They're only down their Pharah. She's coming back with ultimate anyways. We get the Reaper. Pharah's come back. She'll be using her ultimate on top of us in a second. Zarya's just trying to kill the Brigida. And they're they're being kited very well here. But I think our Zarya gets burned down here, and there's no one else to retouch point. Moira goes down. Zarya goes down. Lucio touches and stalls point for a little while, just spinning around. They really aren't able to keep up with him. They pop fire ultimate, but ultimately they're able to cap point with that, which is unfortunate. So yeah, there was a couple times we played a lot. We played very passively there, which ultimately caused us the loss there. Against their composition, we tried to play slow, but they win in a slow composition like that because they have more. They just have more shield than us. They just have flat out have, you know, twice as much shield as we have. So we can't play slowly because, especially when they're playing the Pharah, because they have more shield break than us as well. So we keep on the Tracer, but they go back to the McCree. So we just kind of play aggro. We have the advantage of speed boost again. We put damage in on them. But the Kree's going to come around the right side. Okay, we were aware of this Kree. So we did see him rotate here, because our Kree goes to respond as well. Do we not have flashbang? We do have flashbang. I think he gets the first flashbang, though. We should be calling this out a lot more actively, and the Lucio should be trying to speed us over here to help our Kree, because otherwise we're going to lose him to the double tap, which is unfortunate. Our Reinhardt gets pinned. I don't know what happened there, but our Ryan died. Do we have bubble? We didn't have bubble. We must have used bubble somewhere right around there. Our Lucy gets cut out because of this. He might survive, but probably yeah. Alright, so they have advantage on this point now. They're gonna clean this up. There's really much we can do about it. We get a kill, but they get a kill. They get Zarya. Ryan's back. Moira goes down. Tracer's just harassing. DPS on point, but they are able to kill up everybody. It's just the Reaper on point, just stalling for time, which is good. Ultimately getting value, because they hadn't capped yet. So we pressure the Kree, he's forced to roll out.
Get into position.
Where's that run coming from? Look at that. We eat a fire strike. Their Reinhardt has shatter. Our Rein is... We're only halfway to shatter because our Reinhardt died earlier. That Reaper was us teleporting up there. We swapped off the Tracer to the McCree Reaper composition, which is a better composition. Our Reaper drops. I don't particularly like that rotation by the Reaper. I think there were better ways to play that. But TPing up here to drop meant you use your TP. You dropped. You did a bit of damage, but took a lot of damage. You got bubbled, you wraithed, and you jumped out. So we used 3 abilities to get nothing done. Which means we just have to wait now. So we melt their Rhine shield pretty quickly, which is crazy. They have High Noon. He's going to come up from behind us in High Noon, though. Flashbang forces the Wraith form. The McCree's behind us. We don't know about this, do we? He High Noons. This rotation was very well done by them. What did they use? They used 3 ultimates to win that fight. We popped Coalescence, though. That was well played by the McCree, especially. The McCree and the Reinhardt both. We let both of them rotate to our sides without watching them. The McCree is more understandable. You're not really always tracking the McCree, but the Reinhardt doing that, we should have known he was doing that. And that's usually on the Reinhardt, especially like when they have a Rein composition. When you playing Rein against Rein, one of the main things that you need to be doing, especially when he might have Shatter, is knowing where that Reinhardt is. If you don't know where that Reinhardt is, you need to call it out. Where is Reinhardt? He's doing something. We pop B to engage, and we speed boost on the point. Our Rein gets... Nope, our Reaper gets pinned. We pop the Grav. Target priority is all over the place. Both the DPS are on the Reinhardt, whereas the rest of the team is on the Grav targets. gets the gets the Kree. Now we should. That swing went the wrong way. I would have swung at the Reinhardt, but we're on this Reinhardt now. He's getting healed up pretty quickly though. Our Zarya is gonna get deleted by this Reaper now, I think.
The power of destruction.
Moira's forced to back away. I don't like that fade at all, though. I don't. It's very easy to see why this fade is not good. But I don't like this fade. Not one bit. You're on the wrong side of the point. You should have faded, preferably back into like this corner or something like that. But, you know, doesn't really matter too much. Fight's still going on. They get a big anti-nade. Gets a Reaper. Probably kills the Reaper in a second. Yep. But I think we still are. This still should be okay for us. Reaper pushes around on this left side. He wraith forms because we look at him. We get value out of literally nothing on him. We should be trying to keep our Zarya up here, but she's gonna die. McCree gets the Moira though with the Moira orb. McCree gets the Anas. They have no heals. We lose our Moira, but it's just McCree and Lucio against the Reinhardt. So we cap. And McCree comes back. We lose our McCree for the McCree, but doesn't matter. We still win the fight, and I think we win point. Reinhardt's making space. We cap point. Let's go. Alright then. Yet again. This happens to us twice. Where's Reinhardt? Reinhardt doesn't see Reinhardt. Reinhardt doesn't see anybody yet, but Reinhardt saw the Orisa. So either he is assuming the Reinhardt is with the Orisa, or he doesn't know where the Reinhardt is. And that's what the Reinhardt on their team wants. Because we don't know where their Reinhardt is. He walks behind us, and he shatters too. And then he pins, because he's a bad Reinhardt. But he's a sneaky Reinhardt. He pins the Moira, but we bubble, so she won't die. We pop our Reaper ultimate, which ultimately doesn't really get too much, but I like it as an ultimate. I like the usage and the positioning on that. We lose our Reaper, or our Reinhardt, which is unfortunate. Our Reaper has to use Wraith form, but we get their Reinhardt. So we've traded Reinhardts. The only things that have died this fight is a Reinhardt trade. But our Moira is very low. We need to work on keeping her alive here. She's getting burned down by the Orisa, which is unfortunate. We pop High Noon up top here. This is a really good High Noon. I think we called this out. Gets their Moira, gets their Ana kind of low, because she was able to break LOS on it. We burn their Orisa down because the Ana's not going to really peek for her again. The McCree, you should be watching this angle constantly. You should always be watching this. You're going to probably not drop down, and he's going to sneak up on you. Flash. You return flash, but he's going to get the one hit on you because you were lower than him. Doesn't matter. Does he High Noon? He doesn't have High Noon. He drops. You did call us out, though. You called out immediately when this McCree was up on high ground, and as soon as you knew he was up there, you called him out, which was really good on you. I like that. So, after all this, we're going in to the end. Not the end, no. We have another 50% for us. This is final fight territory for them. At any point, if they win a fight, they win the game. So they're pushing all through the inside here. Which, ultimately, is very nice for us. We can just throw fire strikes in there. We can throw damage in. We throw the grab in when they try and drop. The Reaper pops his ultimate. We pop the Coalescence into the Reaper ultimate. Our Reaper had to back up with Wraith form, which is fine. Their Reaper uses Wraith form aggressively on our Reaper. But we turn around and are able to clean him up. Our Reinhardt's in the battle with the other Reinhardt. Neither Reinhardt has Shatter. He pins. Pins hits nothing. Oh, pin does hit the Reinhardt. That's unfortunate that that connected on you. Okay, so I think there was actually good peel here. Both supports peeled for the Reinhardt. I like that actually. Really like that. Yeah, okay, and then we turn around, we go back to the point. McCree's on the Ana, forces the nano boost, and then she dies. I don't like either of these ultimates, but these are both horrible ultimates. They use two ultimates to make a fight that was lost more lost. Like, that wasn't... Nano boosting Orisa wasn't going to win a fight, and putting a Bongo in the center of the enemy team wasn't going to win a fight. So all they did was wasted 2 ultimates they needed to win to lose this fight. And now they're at 85. So they don't get any more ults. Basically what they have is what they're going to get. All they have is High Noon. They might get Shatter. Ryan pins in, goes behind. We know he's close to Shatter if he doesn't have it yet, so we burn him down. We lose our Moira, which is unfortunate. And they pop High Noon on the low ground here. We kill their Reaper. But I'm not afraid of their Kree, are we? We're just... Reinhardt's just holding shield watching it. Brig bashes into the Rein shield. McCree continues to hold High Noon. He drops it. What do we have for heals? The heal situation is that Lucio, who's hiding over here from the High Noon. We should beat now. Beat now. Beat now. As soon as we call out there's no High Noon, beat. Which I think is probably what you're planning on doing here. You're on healing boost still. I would beat now. Do we call this beat? I think we do. As we push aggressively. We haven't used beat. Okay, so it's been like, in this scheme of real-time game, it's been like 4 seconds, or it's been like 2 seconds or whatever. 2 or 4 seconds, I don't know. Something like that. We haven't used beat yet. We should beat now. Keeps this Reaper alive during his ulti. We get their Moira. Reaper dies. Okay, we beat. Beat is late. Very late. But it's okay. It's still... Tank line is still alive and the Lucia is still alive. People are... I think we've got better respawns than them, probably. I think our Moira will be the first one on point. But Ryan's coming back. He has Shatter. We should be aware of this. We kill their Kree. We grab their Orisa. He's coming back. We knew he had Shatter. We are unable to block because our Reinhardt had just died. But everyone else, besides the Zarya, LOS's it. We dodge the pin, because he's a bad Reinhardt who pins after he shatters. We get their Reaper very low. He's forced to use Wraith Form. Our Zarya dies. We pop the High Noon from the low ground. I like this High Noon. We lose our Lucio, which is unfortunate. Just looking for kills with the High Noon. High Noon gets 2. Reaper drops in with the McCree. There, everyone's on the Reinhardt. I like this play. And it's just Lucio on point. The Soldier's coming back as well. Reaper takes the duel with the Soldier. That's fine. Everyone else kills the Lucio. Soldier dies, and we cap second. Anything. So, there's a couple big things there, but honestly, beat was what made that fight a much harder to win than it could have been. When we had control, and it's 99, and people are starting to get low, don't try and heal, just beat. Beat and play aggressively in this composition. Okay, so last point. Their Soldier, they're running the Soldier at the start of this is questionable, but you know, lock the legs, brother. He goes on the high ground. Reaper goes to contest that. He's aware of the Soldier. We're playing forward-ish, kind of. Not really. We back up. So I just, one thing I kind of want to point out is, I guess the Kree is doing a bit of damage, but we're not really spamming the shield right now. I think personally, I would have, if someone was going to chase this Soldier, we should call out where he is, and the McCree should be the one to do it. And McCree is the better duelist there. The Reaper should just be helping us put damage on the shields. Reaper pulls behind it. Okay, I remember this happening, and I remember not liking this. Okay, so we're not communicating this very well, but everyone on the team, everyone right now, should be here. We should have our Reinhardt shield, not shielding, but swinging hammer through the Orisa. Zarya's here. Lucio, I don't know, up here or something, up here. I don't know, skating around doing Lucio things. Moira should be like here or whatever, maybe here, just throwing heals in. And the McCree, I don't mind the McCree's positioning. He can be here, he can be over here, whatever. Just somewhere where he's getting damage in to this spot where we're shooting. And the Reaper, same kind of thing. Up here with the Reaper should be up here with the Zarya as well. Just throwing damage in, like just like face, like the barrel stuffing, especially the Orisa here. This Reaper flanks around behind us. Honestly, I don't really like flanking Reapers. It's not really very viable. It's not really very good. It gets less value done than it should. Our Moira fades in the wrong direction. The Lucio boops the Reaper away, which is good. We push forward. The Reinhardt's kind of playing passively right now. He's holding shield. We should be just kind of swinging right now. There's not really too much spam damage. They don't have the spam damage to beat us here. We kill the Reaper, which is good. The blue supports do get the Reaper. The soldier's just kind of throwing in damage from miles away, which means he's not doing damage. I like this McCree positioning in the cubby right now. This is a really good way to play the McCree. So see, now we pushed forward. Now we're just locking them out of point.
The objective is now active.
I don't think we care too much about the soldier up top right now, because honestly, he's not going to get too much done. We're more busy with the tank fight. But the McCree can be the one to go up there. I like this play by the Reaper, though. We're just kind of playing forward here. But I think you kind of just disengage too early. You should really go for this Moira. Because they have no, besides the Brig stun, and they don't really have burst damage anyways. So, unless you get stunned by the Brig and they get you down to like 40 health on the Reaper, I'd say just keep going. Keep fighting, because, you know, you get health by shooting. The soldier drops on point on our McCree. And our Zarya is there to help. We cap point because they walk away from point. Our Ryan backs up to get healed. The Moira is currently just trying to get the McCree up, which is good. Now that the McCree is fine in that duel, we should be back on the Reinhardt, healing him up. We get the juice. Push forward. We get their Zarya. I think we get their Kree as well. Yep. And then we back up. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Alright then. Oh, I did it a second time. Okay, so they push forward here. They swapped off of the soldier and went on to the Reaper. So now they have the now they're basically mirror matching. The only difference they have is that they're running the Brig instead of the Lucio, and they're running the Orisa instead of the Reinhardt. Which in theory is kind of good. Okay, it's unfortunate our Reaper dies there. You had okay, how did you get there? How did you die? Okay. So yeah. Ultimately, I think this is the flank play. Kind of results in your death. But what happens? You get pulled, you get bashed, you get pulled. And then how do they burst you down so quickly? This must be the McCree, right? Yeah, it's the McCree that stuns you down, burst you down. So that's what kills you is the McCree. I think especially if we recognize the McCree play, I think you just play with the Reinhardt here. We grab. Because of that, both teams match coalescence. What do we want? We have beat. There's no real big win condition for beat, especially because their Zarya is very bad and does not have grav. I would have beated this fight. Makes this fight much more winnable for us, keeps our Reinhardt more alive. Their Brigitte is in our backline and should pay for that. We lose our Lucio to the coalescence, which is unfortunate, which means no beat for this fight. We get their Brigitte though, so that's a decent amount of heals gone for them. We lose our Reinhardt though. McCree's throwing the damage in from the high ground, but they are able to win this fight. I would have used beat much earlier in that fight.
Touch from afar.
Alright,
Cease your resistance.
so they pop the bongo in a horrible place. I wish I could see how much health the bongo had, but alas, replay viewer won't let me. We pop the blossom on the Brig. Is she going to stun you? She's going to stun you. We should coordinate the. Okay, that's a big thing as well. I want to talk about is okay. Yeah, let's actually just go into that real quick. So DPS ultimates have definitely been one of our weaker usages because I haven't really talked about them because they're all very specific. But this is a big no-no for Reaper ultimates. And the main reason is because you get stunned out of it. With these Reaper ultimates, you kind of want to, the best way to use them is to use them in the team. If the Reinhardt had pushed forward, if the Reinhardt was here, Zarya was here, and the Reaper was here, then you do your Blossom. We give you Bubble, and they can't stun you out of this while you do damage. Or you can use it to confirm kills, like solo kills. Either one of those situations is fine. Either the Reaper is pressuring our Zarya out, but he has to use his Wraith form because he's a big dummy. And he uses Wraith form to keep playing aggressively on the Zarya, which means he gets stunned, he gets bubbled, he gets killed. Our Reinhardt is losing health to the McCree on the left, but he's able to turn the shield and get back away from everybody else because we have the Lucio. We have Beat. We should play aggressively with Beat. They're going to grab. So they're probably going to grab us when we try and push aggressively here. I like this Reaper play though. You're just kind of barrel stuffing the Moira. But we should be playing up to help him because now the Brigida's turned around. Because this is what the Brigida's going to do literally every time she sees you. We shatter. This is a big shatter. Hits 4. That's a really well played shatter. We should be able to clean up these targets. It might take a little while, but she wastes grab as well. Even better. We waste coalescence. Not even better. It's fine. Coalescence for grab is a fair trade, so I'll take that. But it's not the optimal use, and we called it out in chat as soon as that happened, so it's not like I care. We understand the mistake, and it's just kind of programming us to not make those mistakes.
This is my will.
Alright, so their Reaper is... Okay, this is what the Reaper should be doing in this kind of composition. He's just pushing up the Reinhardt, and to be fair, no one's really with the Reinhardt. Where's our Reaper? Where's our Reaper gone off? He's back here again. I don't like this, especially with the Brigida, because every time you go in, you do a bit of damage and you're forced to use your Wraith form out. Whereas, in this case, he was able to get a lot more value on the shields at least. Which is kind of what the Reaper should be doing. If he can't see anything, he should be on the shields.
Touch from afar.
Our McCree gets killed in the duel up on the high ground. They grab. It's a huge grab. It's a huge grab by us. Catches 2. Their Reaper uses Blossom. See, this is a better use of Blossom by him. He's not afraid of a stun right now. And he basically used this to confirm the kill on the Reaper. Even though you LOS'd it and didn't die to it. So they're going to retake now. But we have 89, so it's one fight territory for us. One fight territory if we win. We win more fight, and we win the game. Actually, I think it's if we basically we get capped, they can't really fight again. They don't get a full fight. They're at 66. We push high ground this time. Brig misses the whip shot. Doesn't knock anybody off.
This is my will.
Reaper pushes behind us. We get their Kree. And then their Reaper pushes up. And the Moira... I don't like the Moira playing this far forward. She's going to get deleted in a second. Yep. Yep, here it comes. Because he's going to turn right back around after he gets healed. And we should call this out. We shouldn't play aggressively on it. It's the Moira. Because now you're dead. Now we have no big heal. We only have a small heal. Heals at home. We get the boop off kill, which is fine. McCree's up on the high ground. Yeah, we're holding the shield for him for now. The Reinhardt drops, which is fine. High Noon gets the Orisa. We pop Beat. They pop Rally. So we match Rally for Beat. With Beat, if you have Beat right now, as the Reinhardt does, don't hold shield. Just swing that hammer. Just swing the hammer. You're swinging the hammer. Brig is our target. We chase the Brig all over the entire map, where Lucio gets caught out in that rotation. Not really sure how he does. That was very poor. We pop the Coalescence, and we play aggro. So, now that we're down, okay, hold on. We actually have 4. We have 4. They have 4. This is winnable for us. The only ultimate they're going to have is Grav anytime soon, whereas we have Death Blossom. We should pick a side, left or right. Either one is fine, and we should play with the doors. We have doors here, we have doors here. This map is very symmetrical. We need to pick one side. See, we have 2 here. We have 2 here. We need to pick one of these sides. I prefer this side because there's a health pack in here, so it's overall a better place for us to hide. But our Reaper dies to the McCree, which is unfortunate because we're playing too far forward as well. The Zarya pushes up, and the McCree's up. Yeah, I think we should be playing more passively here. We don't need to win the cap right now. We just need to stall the point. But our Kree gets caught out because he's opposite of the team. Because Zarya rotated to the left to play with the Moira. We tried to bubble him. We didn't have bubble for him. And they're just gonna clean us up then. Because now their Reese is back. They retake. Lucy's here just trying to stall again. Zarya retouches, Ryan retouches, gets a shatter. No one's there to copy up. Reaper's back, he's dead. They grab McCree's on point, but it doesn't matter, we lose the point still. Which is unfortunate. So yeah. I think the biggest thing is a couple times we're trying to play Death Ball, and we don't play as Death Ball, we play as 2 Death Balls. And one Death Ball goes down, and the other Death Ball isn't strong enough to win the fight.